What a bloody day in the stock market today. The SPY down over 0.7%, especially towards the end of the day. We had the Fed minutes report that we were talking about on the weekly watch list. So we had the Fed minutes report, and that news really took the market, especially during power hours. We were down over 0.5% just on power hours during the end of the day. Not only that, the SPY has broken the major critical level of support, and it does not look good. And then in this video, I also want to talk about Apple, how we had to close our Apple calls as I alerted on Twitter and all the Discords, and not only that, I then got into a Apple put. So if I go to my Twitter, I did grab one Apple put around $150 next week expiration, 175 put as I alerted on my Twitter. So I did grab a put, which I want to go over in this video. Subscribe with notifications on. Let's get started. So the main cause was we had the news of the Fed minutes toward the end of the day. We had a catalyst coming in from the Fed, so possibly leading to more rate hikes. That is what the Fed minute is showing, and especially signs of higher inflation, especially since the last inflation report. Inflation did go up from the last inflation report. So that is what caused the market to drop towards the end of the day, because especially today, like we were actually up, we were doing pretty good today for the market. When I woke up and then around lunchtime, the market was doing pretty good. I was looking at Apple, I was feeling confident, but then towards the end of the day, we just got this shock from the news, which took the whole market to the downside. Now let's talk about the SPY, because the SPY is not looking good. The SPY is not looking good here. We have more room to the downside now. Now I have the two new levels that I have drawn here. So we have a level at 437, and then we have a level at 430, which is our next two levels of support. So taking a look at the daily and the weekly time frame, we have broken the major trend. We had this massive bullish channel, so now we are in a downtrend since we have broken this trend. So taking a look at the daily time frame, we have more room to the downside at 436, which is our area, and then we have 430. So potentially a bounce here to test back the level of support that it broke, but this is what we are taking a look at. And honestly, it does not look good. Technical analysis speaking, it does not look good. This was supposed to be a very, very important and critical level of support. Even taking a look at the RSI is going down by a lot, and we are hitting over that overbought, oversold levels for the SPY. So these are the two levels that we are taking a look at, especially for QQQ. We have broken off this trend. It just does not look good, and it's going to be very interesting on how we close off for the rest of the week, because potentially it really matters on how we close on the weekly time frame, because the weekly time frame is kind of like the bigger time frame for the trend. So it is going to be very interesting. It does not look good. Like, honestly, it does not look good, but we will see what happens. Next, we have Apple. So I made a video on Apple. I bought Apple calls, and then I had to sell out since we closed right before market closed. I closed and it hit the stop loss. So basically 5 minutes before market closed, I was looking at Apple. We had that sudden drop, and then boom, it closed right below the level of support. And since we closed right below the level of support, now we have more room to the downside. Now we also do have a gap to the downside, so we can potentially kind of play this gap fill. So our price target is going to be around 175. So if Apple does drop tomorrow, I'm looking to sell out of the put. Nothing crazy, I just got one put. So this is what I am taking a look at, and we are also holding a lot of our shares play. So especially for IWM, where we talked about on the weekly time frame, it depends on how we close tomorrow and on Friday. If IWM does not close above the level of resistance, I am cutting the play for shares. So we actually had a pretty nice run up for shares. We were up over 5%, but we came back down, and it really needs to hold this level. If it does not close above the level of resistance at 188, we have to cut it, because then we have more room to the downside at this level of support. So this is what we're taking a look at. Obviously, we have some other plays, our long-term plays, which we have shares on Disney, and then obviously we have our oil plays, which are also a concern. SU is doing good, but oil is doing decent otherwise, because again, it's really a whole different market. So oil is doing good. So a lot happened this week, man. Like, this sudden drop in the market was really unexpected. So overall, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe with notifications on. I just have one Apple put. Let's see what happens. I do like the put play, especially like this candle we saw today. I'm really excited on how we open at market open. Overall, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys later. Take care.